Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Love. I am your host, Monique Gigi. It probably seems like it's been a minute for those who normally watch on YouTube. Unfortunately, I normally record on Periscope and it has not been saving to my phone. I don't know if it was because of the app or what, but let me turn this way while I talk. So I recorded 2 episodes and unfortunately they did not save to my phone. So if you want to see them, you can go to Periscope and look up Gigi Lux, Gigiluxe, and they are there. I made gumbo, and I also did kind of a mukbang and taste test of a couple of different products. If you want to find those out, you have to go check it out and see. But yeah, we are back and I'm going to be doing my waffles. My strawberry waffles and using my new waffle maker. So if you saw the episode on my kitchen haul and you saw a new waffle maker, and yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm also cooking for my family. My mom is and she likes bacon. I like it, I like a little bit. I dabble a little bit in bacon. So I use the brand my sister. I do exactly how my sister does it. Just not an avid bacon eater or cooker. I just follow what other people do because this is not my area of expertise. I don't eat a lot of pork. So I buy the Oscar Mayer brand of thick cut bacon and I literally put it in the pan. Do it like this. I'm not here for the stove, all that grease popping everywhere. This is what I do. Just layer it like that. And this is a Pamper Chef pan, in case you were wondering. They are the best. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven. I have it on 400. Prayerfully, I don't do it last time and forget it because I literally forgot. And what happens? I'm gonna move this out the way. You guys, Aldi is the truth. So my mom wanted some coffee. I have my Keurig here and I don't drink coffee. I use my Keurig for all the other stuff. So yeah, I didn't have any, so I went to Aldi. You guys know, like Aldi is my place, like my jam. They have this. And I told her, I was like, listen, I know you like your coffee, but this has to stay here because I'm not running out anymore to go get coffee. Not that I wouldn't, but they got a bunch of different flavors for those coffee drinkers. Coconut caramel, pumpkin pie, salted caramel, cinnamon hazelnuts, cinnamon sticky bun. That does sound good, but I don't drink coffee. And then apple pie. So I won't be partaking in any of that. I use the Aunt Jemima complete mix. I have wanted to try the Belgian waffle mix, but I don't know, I just been apprehensive because it says Belgian waffle. I don't care for Belgian waffles, but I am going to try that mix and see how I like it. But Aunt Jemima has just always been a staple of mine with pancakes, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I will say I did finally do it how the direction says for waffles. Initially, I was not doing that, and it was good, but following the directions, it makes a difference. So I'm just gonna pour some of this in here. I will say when you're making waffles, you do need, and I think I'm gonna start going to Sam's Club and buying the 3 box and just giving my parents one and keeping 2 because you do use more mix than you do when you make pancakes, of course. They're bigger. I don't want to use the word more in depth, but y'all order. Uh-oh. This one is done. So we're gonna put that over here by the trash, throw that away. Something I do that I don't know if most people do or don't do, but I love to put cinnamon in my mix and nutmeg. I am all out of nutmeg. I went to the store and I could have sworn to you I bought nutmeg, and unfortunately it was ground allspice and I already had some. But I've been using it so until just a little bit until I buy some. This just will have to do. I'm actually very thirsty right now. I need to drink some water. I'm going to mix this up. Where is my whisk? I don't see it. One moment. Here it is. I'm like, where is it, you guys? I'm gonna get some water too because I'm thirsty. Like, my water intake the last couple days has been absolutely atrocious. It's really ridiculous. Ow, y'all heard that? So I'm gonna mix that in there just so it's They're more evenly distributed. And sometimes if I see like it still looks the same color, I'll put a little bit more cinnamon in there. Of course, if you don't like cinnamon, this isn't gonna work for you. I am gonna be doing a vegan pancake recipe. I've done some before, but I wanna find a better recipe. So I'm gonna put a little bit more cinnamon in there. Hopefully you guys can see. I might need to pull that back and then around some. So this is what we're looking like. I probably should have showed you guys before. Put just a tad bit more. Do like that. Push this. Whoa, the camera's moving. There we go. Okay, that's better. I think I'm going to next cut up some of my strawberries because I'm actually gonna put some of these on the inside. What do you know? What do you say? So I like to cut my strawberries. I don't always do this, but I prefer it because you actually get more strawberry when you do it. Like, oh, it looks so cute. Anybody seen Cloudy with Chance of Meatballs for those who have children? This reminded me of one of the little ones. So what I like to do is push that in there ever so slightly and just kind of go around. I mean, granted, you could just chop it off, but I like to just do it like this. That way, you know, all of it kind of comes out, and then there you go. I mean, you could just, that's an option, but that's what I like to do. So I'm gonna do the rest of these like that. See? Not that I'm not gonna chop all these up, but yeah, whatever your preference is, that's what you do, you know. You guys, I want y'all to be impressed with me that my episodes pop up on my phone. This has happened before, but I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know if it's because I didn't update the app. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. But last time, like, all of a sudden, they just popped up on my phone. So I'm prayerful that that's going to happen again. I have faith, you guys. I have a lot of faith. I know you guys can't see, but you don't know me to. I guess I can show you how I cut up the strawberries. I don't think you all care that much. So pretty sure you guys have cut up strawberries before. But I just cut them like, hopefully you guys can see. I'm holding this inside and cutting them in small slivers. So some of them are about that big. And then I'm turning them this way, the opposite way of where I just cut them, and I'm cutting them like this. Like this. Hopefully you guys can see. It's gonna be a little tricky, it's gonna start falling apart. And then I turn it on its side and I cut it in very small pieces. So you guys can see they're pretty small. And sometimes I'll go back through with, depending on how I feel, with a larger knife and kind of really cut those smaller, but most of the time this does the trick and I don't care either way. I wish I had some more white peaches to show you guys how I did the waffles with the peaches. Now I am going to cut that off. I don't like the way that looks. I don't necessarily want to eat that either. I will say these are not the best strawberries because they're a little, not a little, but they are lighter on the inside than I care for. And they say you shouldn't eat fruit out of season, and I believe the strawberry season is over just about, or maybe this is what was left of it. I don't know. I'm gonna check the bacon, and about halfway with the bacon I'll flip it over. We'll get it cracking like that. I'm gonna put water in here. I don't ever measure this. I just kind of put it in and stir it and get the consistency that I like. That is one part I do not follow directions on. But yeah, you know, teach his own. And that's something why I like the complete mix, because, you know, I just feel like it's just easier to add other stuff. You know, that's my preference. So your mix is gonna be, because of the cinnamon and the allspice, which, like I said, I normally use a little bit of nutmeg. The color is going to be different than it normally would be, because you have those in there. I do gradually add the water. I try not to put too much at once, because of course if you put too much, then you have to put, and it's too thin, you have to put more of the mix in to kind of make that the consistency that you like. I pray everyone has had a great week. You know, it's been awesome. So that's what we're looking like so far. I've been out just a tad bit more, like a tad. So yeah, that's how I tend to like it. So you can see that it's there. It's not too thin. Not too thick, not too thin, the right consistency. So one thing that the instructions do say is to put 1/3 cup of oil into it. So I just sprayed this in here because I don't have any more. I don't put a whole lot in. Oh, that aerosol. Because of course I didn't follow directions to the T, so I don't need to put 1/3, because I'm using that much. But if you measure it out and you need to, then you do that part for you. I'm not, because I just never do, and it works just fine. So we're gonna plug this in. The reason I like to wait is because it warms up pretty fast. And after you put the oil in, you are supposed to let this stand. So yeah, so we got that there. I should put my strawberries in a little bowl. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I'm supposed to be putting these on the inside. Take those, put those on the inside, mix that up, and then let it. I don't even know if you guys can see. Here we go. All right. So we got that. You guys, are y'all watching? Are y'all have Disney Plus? Like, I just got that. I'm loving it. Like, Recess is on there. I used to love Recess. Tailspin. I'm telling my age. Because for those who don't know what those shows are, it's okay. Get Disney Plus for the 7-day free trial and go enlighten your life. Because it is amazing. Like, yo, those are classics and good classics. Like, oh, and for those wondering, this is the brand of coconut oil I use. I also am going to, when this gets a little bit hotter, I'm going to spray a little bit of that on there. It was something else I said I was going to do. I don't remember what it was. But you guys, so I saw something on Instagram this week that it's funny, because a friend of mine and I were talking about this probably like 3 weeks ago. And it was saying if you're triggered by something, that you need to heal, basically, from whatever that was. So if you saw on my Instagram, yeah. And it's a very powerful statement, and something that we may not tend to think about in its depth. You know, like, oh yeah, you probably, yeah, but no, you really do. And so it's crazy, because her and I were talking like 3 weeks ago, and someone said something to me, someone I know, and it triggered me. And when I tell you guys, like, I was upset. Like, I was upset. And I was sitting in the car talking to her, and I was just like, why am I triggered? Why am I so, like, what is causing me to feel these emotions? And I was like, I'm not healed from this. Like, I need to get to the root of whatever is causing me to feel this way. And so her and I, you know, literally were talking and like me trying to figure it out. But more importantly, talking to the Lord through this process of me healing from, you know, the root of that feeling. And I think a lot of times, I think I've talked to you guys before, I have traditionally been the type of person to stuff happens. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine. Or I'm upset about it. I'm like, I don't care, whatever. You know, it is what it is. And that has been my mindset for years. Or you want to say decades. And that's not healthy, you know. And we're in a season, and I want to say a new era of really dealing with mental health. And I feel it's warm enough. You know, it's important to deal with the root of our issues, because if you don't deal with the root of them, they transpond in other ways in other parts of our lives, and they can pass on to your children. And, you know, it's important to deal with that stuff, because when you're not dealing with it, oh, it's in there somewhere, and it's lingering, and it's going to fester, and it's going to come out in other ways. Like, you may, you know, it wasn't even so much necessarily like what the person said to me at all, because it was nothing rude. It was the fact that they said something to me, and I was just like, why are you talking to me? You know, but I was sure because I hadn't healed from the stuff that I needed to deal with. And I kept, you know, it's like, I think of it like this, like you got a deep wound, and let's say you got a deep wound in your arm, and you just put like a Band-Aid over it or a piece of cloth, and like, you know how people put the ace, they wrap it up, but inside it's still horrible. It's still, and let's say it's infected and you've not dealt with, and it's going down to the bone, but it's still there and it's still festering. It's starting to go in your bloodstream and it's causing other issues. And you're just like, I'm fine, I got it wrapped up. No dirt is getting in. It doesn't matter if more dirt gets in if whatever is already bad in there is not being dealt with. It's causing other issues with inside of your body. It's causing other issues inside of your mental health. Whatever you're not, like, deal with your junk. And I don't want to call it junk to be like, oh, it's just this horrible thing, but like, you gotta deal with that stuff, because when you're not dealing with it, like I said, it comes up in other ways, and we may not notice it at first. You may think, oh, I'm just having a bad day. But no, like, it could be that you are not dealing with the stuff that you should have dealt with 10, 15 years ago, okay? And I think I had told you guys, like, after, like, I never really used to cry, and, like, my little sister passed away, and I became this crybaby. And then later on in life, I got to the point, like, oh, I'm not crying. I'm not gonna do that. I don't need to cry. And it's like, no, it's okay to let that stuff out. And it doesn't matter if the world or anyone else views it as a weakness. God honors that, and you have to, like, it's a form of release in getting that stuff out. And not to say that just crying, oh yeah, I'm healed, I'm great, I'm fine. No, but it helps. And you journaling. I think I talked, you know, if you watch the ones I did on Periscope, you know, talking to someone who has wisdom to help you deal with those things is very helpful. You know, talking to the right people. Of course, don't just talk to anyone, but talk to someone who's going to help you. And more importantly, most importantly, talking to the Lord, because God will reveal whatever that deep rooted issue is, you know, to help you to be able to move on properly in your life with whatever you're dealing with. You know, maybe someone who disrespected you, maybe, you know, maybe a parent abandoned you, whatever it is, you know, that is definitely hot enough. Do like that. I try to be careful to not put too much, because of course it's gonna get bigger, and I don't want it spewing over. And there are different settings on, and I have the cuisine. I think I watch my kitchen haul and you can see it up close. But this is a classic waffle maker. Like I said, I don't care for Belgian waffles for whatever reason. I just never have. But there are different settings on here. So like 5 different settings. And you just push it over. And then when it's done, it'll turn green when it's hot enough and it's ready. I just normally just always pick it up and see for myself. But yeah, and so there are different ones on here. You can like have it as crispy as you want or as light as you want. I just tend to keep it on 2. I did that one day and I've just been sticking with it. But yeah, it's important for us to deal with our junk, because when stuff triggers you to anger or rage or even sadness or depression, you know, whatever it is, you see like some people, it's music, you know, you listen to that one song and, oh my goodness, I'm in my feelings or blah, blah, blah. Well, what's the real reason you're in your feelings? It's because you're sad, it's because you're lonely, it's because you miss someone. And, you know, I think for me, one of the things that I had to realize that I was putting other people and their needs and wants and my own needs and wants before my relationship with God. And it's like, yo, like, that's not helpful. Like, this spillover for my life, you know, like, that needs to be first and foremost, because he is the ultimate one who's going to help me become the best I can be. And that relationship is key over any and everything. Like, he's out there in the finisher. Like, nobody can satisfy me like he can. Nobody can help me like he can, you know. And so for me, I realized, like, yo, I gotta start spending the right amount of time to get back in my word like I need to, and just meditating on him. And even it doesn't necessarily have to be like, and I'm a big avid listener of worship music, but that's great. But what is my communication? Like, the Bible says to pray without ceasing. That doesn't mean like all day you're on your floor or wherever you pray. Just praying is communication with him, talking to him throughout the day, and just be like, thank you, Lord, you know. And even under your breath or in your head, God, I just thank you, you know. It doesn't mean like every second of the day, but if you can, it's great. If not, you know, just take moments. God, I just thank you. Thank you for blessing me. Thank you for keeping me, you know. And also being quiet to listen to his voice when he's trying to talk to you. Because I think a lot of times, ooh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? I didn't even grab mine. I didn't even grab the plate, you guys. How I did that. Let's try to check this. I'm trying to make sure I don't burn the bacon. I don't, when I eat it, I don't like it like super crispy and junk. That's not my taste. How pretty. But there we go. So one thing I am going to do, one thing I always do, is I like to put butter on it and let it sit. Even if you like do one like and it's a little too crispy, put some butter on it and then sit the next one on top and it'll soften right up. Cause I don't like my waffles real crispy. And that is it, you guys. That's my waffles. And I will say, like, I'll cut some up. I guess I can show you that. But yeah, let me get here. I'm gonna close up with my strawberry waffles. Put this to the side. I'll put another one in here. And then show you guys how I cut that up. That's gonna spill over too. I already know it. It's okay. I'll grab this and I've already put the other one on the sink. So one thing I like to do, can you guys see? Nope. I'm gonna move this over. Grab that. Over there. There we go. So again, I'm gonna cut this like that a little bit different because this knife, of course, is larger. So it's the larger one, and I just take it and slice it as thinly as possible is what I prefer. And you want to get you a good knife. You are not going to be able to do this with the little steak knife set that a lot of stores sell. And so they're that thin. And make sure I don't overdo it this time. And I normally just do like this. And I'll put like some powdered sugar on top. Okay, where is the powdered sugar? It's in here somewhere, you guys. Somewhere over the rainbow. Something, something, I don't know all the words. I love that song, but this is one thing you guys, I'll tell you guys, if I haven't told you all already, I never know all the words. Ever. I know the hooks and that's it. But one song I do know all the words to is The Little Mermaid. Which song is it? It's the one where she's in the room. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think? I'm not gonna sing for y'all for real. But I love that song. My cousin was sick of me not knowing the words, and he literally wrote all the words down for me. So this is what I normally do. So you can do it like this. That's an option. But normally I take it in my hand and just, because sometimes, see, that happens. And that's no bueno. So what I'll do, of course, if you're cooking for other people, this is mine right here. Make sure your hands are clean. Use some gloves. We don't want, listen, you guys, it is very important to, I'm an avid hand washer, like probably, I don't want to say a little too much because I almost can't tell you, unless you're OCD, like about hand washing, I don't feel like you can wash your hands too much, but if you are, and I meant to say this before, just some food safety techniques. Buy gloves. That always works. Nothing wrong with using gloves. If your fingernails are dirty, you shouldn't be cooking. Just FYI. Clean those out first, because even if, this is just me personally, if I see a chef or a cook with gloves on and under their gloves their nails are dirty, that says a lot about your cooking. You may be cross-contaminating some things that shouldn't be cross-contaminated. Nothing should be cross-contaminated. That's, you know, oh, I forgot I switched the bacon over. Yeah, you want to be careful, okay? Be mindful of touching one thing and you haven't washed your hands and you're gonna touch something else. You know, that's kind of food safety 101. I guess I can show you guys what this looks like before I flip it over. So here we go, and then I'm gonna flip it over and thinking about our day. I'm going to an event today. I had to finish getting dressed, so we're gonna pretty much end it here. You know, I will say this: if you are triggered, please deal with the root of whatever is triggering you. Pray about it. Talk to someone. Get a therapist, a counselor, someone who can help you. If you don't feel like you hear God's voice, if you feel like you just have no clue on how to find out what's really going on, find someone who can help you. I know there are sites where you can like almost kind of FaceTime a therapist and you can pay for it that way. A lot of insurance, I think most insurances cover therapy now. But please deal with the root of that, because it's something you're not healed from. I'm working on things that I need to still heal from. And it's a process, and I'm learning that. I think I've said this, you know, in the last video, healing is not an overnight thing, you know. I do feel like because of the healing process I've been going through, the weight of some of the things I was dealing with are no longer there. So I feel a lot better in that aspect. But it's a process, you know, and we have to allow that process to take its course so that we can be the best we can be, and so that we can then help others be the best they can be, and our children and those around us. But if this blessed you in any way, or you feel like, you know, something I said on here could be a blessing to someone else, please share it. Like, share, subscribe. We're family. And my name on YouTube is Monique Gigi. Of course, I'm gonna directly upload this there. My Instagram, where I post the pictures of whatever I cook, is Gigi Lux, GIGILUXE, and Twitter is the same as well if you want to follow me on there. And if you guys listen, if you cook any of the recipes, please tag me in them if you post pictures. Like, I love seeing I'm a foodie for real. So I love seeing food. If you got questions, let me know. Like, I have no issue in answering them if I'm online. Ask me. Let's talk about it. You know, let's figure this thing out. If you make some adjustments for your palate, if you do blueberries, I've done that too with pancakes. Let me see. You know, if you want to, you don't have to. But, you know, I pray this blessed you. Pray this fed your soul. I pray it fed your stomach. And I pray you guys have an amazing day. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.